A couple of months ago, inside my Indie Author Bootcamp, I asked the members to tell me their biggest fears about becoming a self published author. Many I'd heard before: not being a good enough writer, not having certain credentials, making mistakes during the self publishing process, receiving bad or negative reviews, and so forth. But one member said, "I'm afraid of success." This statement might baffle many people. After all, the world is full of aspiring authors whose primary goals are to hit the New York Times bestseller list and to speak on major stages to thousands of people in the audience. But for that particular person in my boot camp, the desire to sell lots of books and be known as an author was tempered by an underlying fear of that success. It's a fear I believe many authors have. They might not speak about it or even be fully cognizant of it themselves, but it quickly becomes clear in the actions they take or choose not to take. So let me ask you, is fear of success stopping you? If so, or if you're not sure, or if you know another writer who absolutely is fearful of becoming successful, then this episode is for you. Today, I'm going to share practical advice from a biblical perspective to help you become a confident author who's willing and able to make a true impact. But before I dive in, I want to let you know that in August, I have opened up 3 one-on-one coaching calls each week, starting in August. If you'd like to spend an hour with me to iron out a particular challenge and get a customized next step action plan, be sure to click the link in the show notes now. So let me ask you again, do you have a fear of success? If you're not sure, honestly answer the following questions. Do I make lists of things I know I need to do to sell books, but I never actually do them? Do I say I want to start public speaking or podcast guesting, but I never pitch myself? Do I desire media coverage and awards, but never send press releases or submit my book for consideration? And do I want to earn an income as an author, but I consistently underprice my book and don't offer additional products or services? These are just a few examples of how fear of success might be showing up in your author life. Now, before I go any further, let me be clear. Success is subjective. It's defined differently by different people. One person might say selling 1,000 books is the epitome of success, while someone else thinks replacing their current salary is the benchmark of success. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't strive to achieve. I'm here to help you recognize and overcome your fears. How? By encouraging you to tap into God's plan for you and your book. Remember, God's plans are different than our plans, and bigger, and full of divine purpose. Isaiah 55, 8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Yet, many Christian writers remain fearful of success. I'm not a trained or licensed counselor or therapist of any kind, but I believe the root of that fear of success is an underlying fear of not being a good Christian. We see what the world does with wealth, fame, and possessions, and we rightly shrink back. The world pursues success at all costs, and once they receive it, they'll do anything to maintain it. As Christians, we know we're called to be set apart, to be in the world, but not of the world. Therefore, many Christians associate money, especially wealth, to be an evil to be avoided. The same goes with any type of notoriety. But the truth is that it's the love of money that's a sin, not money itself. And God places his people in certain positions at precise moments for specific purposes. For some people, that's to be in positions of power, like within government or military, or publicity, like in the media. God has given you a message or a story to share that will serve others in some way and it will glorify Him. He has also positioned you exactly where you are right now and has a plan for where you will go. But He's giving you the opportunity to do the work, to actively share His message to the people He has waiting for it. That can only be done by both writing and marketing your book, both of which take time and work. Luke 10:7 tells us that the worker deserves his wages. And Paul in Acts 20 shows us that he didn't covet wealth or material things, but he did work to provide not only for his necessities, but also for those who were with him and to support the weak. Likewise, we can work in confidence so long as our focus isn't to attain riches and wealth to spend frivolously on ourselves, but to attain it to provide for our families, employees, and to support those in need. My guess is that you want to write a book that makes an impact. You're listening to the Ink and Impact podcast, after all. What better impact can you make than to reveal biblical truths and the hope that Christ offers in your book? That is undeniably good and worthy work. But I don't think you and I should stop there. We need to modify our mindset. When we allow ourselves to accept whatever financial and or platform success God has for us, we can impact people beyond our readers. Out of our financial abundance, we can donate larger sums to our local churches and worthy charities. When we receive media coverage and get on new and bigger stages, we can proclaim the good news to people who might never have heard it otherwise. We, like so many people who have come before us, might not feel qualified for such a job. But God always equips those He calls. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." Indeed, Galatians 2:20 states, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave Himself for me." We have Christ inside us, friend. He has promised to never leave us nor forsake us. And as we continue to prioritize our relationship with Him over everything else, He will guide us in the right direction. But that doesn't mean the author journey is an easy one. God knows this, and because He is so good and gracious, He places other people in our lives to support us as well. Just as Moses had Aaron and Hur to lean on, you need fellow Christians to uphold you and encourage you as you see your work through to completion. I'm honored you've chosen me to be one of your supporters today through this podcast. If this episode has helped you and blessed you, be sure to subscribe and consider sharing it with a fellow writing friend. And if you'd like to receive one-on-one coaching with me, whether it's a one-time hour-long session or an ongoing coaching package, I'm here for you. As an editor turned publisher who has worked in the self-publishing industry since 1997, I'm able to provide you with the trusted insights and practical resources you need. No cookie-cutter solutions, just customized recommendations that work. Schedule your session now by clicking the link in the show notes. Thank you for joining me today. And until next week, God bless.